This is a big problem plaguing MLB The Show 25, and at this point, I'm worried it's never going to be fixed. So the other day, I decided to play Battle Royale. We went through, drafted a pretty good squad overall, and it got off to a great start. We were crushing the ball, scoring tons of runs, having a lot of fun up until Game 3 where we lost. But we pushed through because you can still get the 10-win reward even if you don't go 10-0 flawless. There's hopefully going to be something worthwhile. I play through, keep on winning games. We start getting closer and closer up until our 8th win. And that is when we see what our 10-win reward is. And that is a Logan Gilbert. That's not incredible. Disheartened as we may, I could have quit and given up on the run right then and there. It's not really worth it to play any more at that point, but I wanted to play spoiler because we faced off against someone who was in his flawless game. He was 9-0. If he beats me, he goes flawless, and I wasn't going to let that happen. A sweaty game, a big inning by both of us to begin it, and we ended up coming out on top. We won that one, and then for some reason, heading into our 10-win game, our opponent just decided to quit, and there we go. We are 10-1, which is all well and good, but it doesn't really mean anything, when in the past it's meant quite a bit. I mean, you've always gotten more when you go flawless. I mean, no shit, right? You didn't lose. You should get more, but it's gotten so bad to the point where if you do go 10-1, which is still a tough feat, you could get 10K, 1,000 stubs per win, essentially. And that is just awful. And that's one of the big things which has absolutely killed Battle Royale. And it's one of the same things that has killed events to the point where there's really just ranked seasons within Diamond Dynasty that has any merit or reason to play. And that is a major problem. I've said it from the very beginning when I found out that there was no event rewards in MLB 25. That is an issue. That is going to cause people to not want to play, and surprise, surprise, it has done exactly that. So they put out new events every now and then that feature different restrictions based on card series. It's really just, okay, well, these cards came out recently, use them. So when you go in and play an event game at this point in 2025, 9 times out of 10, you're going to face off against someone who's looking to boost, who wants to throw fastballs down the middle, trying to obtain stats for the multiplayer program. Very few people actually try and play the game to win, so it really feels like there's no purpose. It's essentially like the mode exists for you to boost. And that is such a far cry from what it's been. I'm not going to pretend that events has always been the most captivating mode, because that's not the truth if you've played it in the past. But I certainly would go in, especially the first handful of months of the game, and I would be playing pretty much every event because you had these exclusive rewards, and the quicker you got them, the higher price tag that they were associated with. If you went and finished and got 10 wins, 15 wins, whatever arbitrary number it was, and you got the card right away, it sold for a ton. And every now and then you would get some really good cards in there. It was just a good setup. Moonshot event, you get a Jose Bautista or someone who hit home runs. And I think the same really can be said with Battle Royale. Since they stripped away the Battle Royale program this year, there is such a sparse population of people playing BR compared to prior years. The Battle Royale program was introduced in MLB The Show 21, and truly, I thought it was awesome. It really pushed more people that would normally be turned off by the idea of Battle Royale because it's difficult to really earn much in a mode where you're required to win 12 consecutive games to really get anything. But now you have these featured cards, these bronzes, silvers, and golds that were notoriously good Battle Royale cards, flashing back to prior years like the show classic cards really, and you got stats with those. You got points per winning games. Remember getting program progress for winning games? The whole intention of playing the game? You tally stats and all these other things to get progress down the Battle Royale program, and you eventually could earn the flawless card. I mean, yes, technically you could be a bad player and still get these, but it would take a significant amount of time compared to if you went flawless, or even if you just strung together like 3 9-win runs in a row. That could probably get you the program done. I just thought it went and worked so well together, especially because you had good BR cards that you were chasing, and it gave notoriety to those cards. It just worked so well. It brought lots of people into playing Battle Royale, the mode which is there for you to try cards that you don't have and utilize some of these lower overall cards, kind of the spirit of Diamond Dynasty, or at least what it was way back when. And that is really all gone now, because the only way that you can possibly get anything out of it is if you go 10-0, if you go flawless. Yes, you can get lucky and get a good 10-win reward. I've done it this year when I got Jose Ramirez. I've went 10-1 twice now, and that was obviously great, but is it worth it going through all that if you could wind up winning 10 games all for a Logan Gilbert and a Joe Ryan, having not even 10,000 stubs to show for it? I don't think so. And that's why you see so few people playing Battle Royale, where it's really a couple people, once again, boosting, grinding stats. Most people choose to do that in events. And you've got like the really good players who are just repeatedly trying to farm these flawless rewards, which have been significantly reduced from where they've been in years past. I mean, hell, look at some of the rewards they put out this year, like the Jimmy Rollins. This card is just not very good. They followed that up with the Jonah Heim, the Andre Dawson. It is crazy to me. 2 months now, I saw it with the Ted Williams collection. You know, in my stream, I had people ask me, All-Star Series is a tough one to do. Like, Gomer, where's that Andre Dawson card coming from? He's like 90,000 stubs or whatnot. Yeah, he's Battle Royale. And you wouldn't know that because a lot of people choose not to play BR anymore because there's no point. And nobody's used the card. He's been out 2 months. There's 215 parallels. There's double PXP on every week. Not a soul is using this card. And so lots of these cards essentially just exist to be sold on the market because they're not good enough for the people who are actually going flawless to use. So they just want to sell them, but it's still tough to go flawless. So they have high prices. It's just bad cards with high ticket prices that make collections even more difficult to achieve. And so you're left with this, the multiplayer program. Substituting the event rewards, the Battle Royale program, and the rank seasons program. I'm okay with the rank program going by the wayside. I just never really saw an entire point of it because that's the flagship mode. That's the mode that's going to get played the most anyway. There doesn't really need to be extra incentive, especially when you weren't even giving people progress for winning games. I mean, when it first came out, the way to progress was playing innings. Was just sitting there like a zombie, just sitting through innings to try and get progress. I don't dislike the multiplayer program. That being said, there's good rewards out of here. I mean, you've gotten some pretty good cards throughout this entire season so far, 3 months out of the game, like the Yelich, the Ozzy Albies, the Dozier, the Mike Piazza. There's been some good ones in here. There's a bunch of XP that you're going to get. There's tons of packs. If you complete the entire thing, you get a 50-pack bundle, which includes a chase pack. That's pretty great. The problem, in my opinion, isn't really so much the multiplayer program, what you get. It's that it is essentially made Battle Royale and events null and void for 95-ish% of people. Events has became will just playlist to boost stats for the multiplayer program. You know, new program comes out, I'll just hop into a couple event games to, you know, throw some fastballs down the middle for my opponent and vice versa. Hopefully he does the same. Or even if you're not explicitly boosting, there's no reason to win the game. There's literally no point. And it just causes people to quit out constantly. I'll get into games sometimes where my opponent, he's the away team, so he's hitting first. He'll bat to get his stat missions, then he quits. So what is the point at that rate? Battle Royale, sort of the same thing. Since it's no longer profitable for anybody unless you go flawless, and there's not really much else to pull out from it, especially when you have to literally pay to play the mode, that again has just seen such a decline in playership to where it is really ranked and then ranked co-op. They've essentially turned Diamond Dynasty into 2 online modes this year. And I think that sucks. I was going into the year saying we need some innovation, we need more. And we've really got ultimately less or just less reason to care or want to play those modes because it's clear they don't really give a shit about events. Now that they've taken rewards out, they just kind of haphazardly throw, these are the restrictions. Run wild. At the start of the year, again, they claimed play the way you want and progress in the multiplayer path. You couldn't even use the multiplayer card rewards. They eventually amended that, so now you can use them. But same thing in Battle Royale. Now they don't require these PXP missions for these cards anymore for the multiplayer program progress, but for the first 2.5 months of the year, that was a requirement. And again, you couldn't even use them or couldn't even reliably get them in Battle Royale. So really the point of this, why I decided to turn the microphone on here, is to say we need things like event rewards. People won't care about it if there's nothing to gain. If all you can get is stats and the stats don't matter whether you win 15-2 or you lose 15-2, nobody's going to take that mode seriously. And in a year, in a game economy where everything has been cranked up to 11, where the Live Series collection, one card costs 700,000 stubs, and then another card cost 500,000, 1.2 million for 2 cards out of the hundreds you're going to need ultimately just to get the collection done. You can't really always afford or expect regular players to want to play events when there's nothing to gain, to want to go into Battle Royale when they know if they don't go flawless, they're just playing to play. And that is fine to play to play. It is. I play the game to just play to enjoy it sometimes too. I have played events even though I've gotten completely done with the multiplayer program. I'm just using it as like an offbeat. I don't want to focus too hard, play too hard, which has always sort of been what events has been, even when there were rewards there. But for a lot of people, it's hard to rationalize going into those modes and playing when they're not going to be earning really much progress towards any ultimate goal. That's kind of a hard thing to sell them on. So my suggestion then, bring back event rewards. I think that is such a no-brainer. I don't see why that couldn't be done this year, but every indication that I've got is that that probably is not going to be happening. If it was going to, it probably would have been by now. So I'm sort of chalking this year up as a loss for events, and this could be the end of events, truly. Unless they bring it back, I just don't see the purpose of having events there. Battle Royale. Think you have to have that program in there. Truly. I cannot mention enough just what that did for the mode. Say for myself, I would play Battle Royale occasionally prior to the program in MLB 21 when it came out, but I was not really good enough at that time to where I had any thought that I could go flawless, 12-0 at that rate. And when that program came out, I played it a ton more, just like events, like I was talking about. For the first handful of months, probably until like the All-Star break, and then naturally interest fades a little bit. Just play MLB The Show less at that point. But I was playing every single Battle Royale program. Every month it came out, I was going and getting it done, and I was enjoying it. I was having a good time, especially because the rewards were so good. So it felt worthwhile, and I could achieve other goals I had within the game by playing this mode. And that's really been stripped away within Battle Royale as well as events. So I think you have to bring back some more reward system within Battle Royale to really get people interested, to want to pay $1,500. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when the other modes are free, I just think there has to be something that you could reasonably get. You can't expect people to say, okay, go 10-1, get 10K stubs, because that makes me never want to play it. And more than that, let's see co-op Battle Royale. Just spitballing here. I think that would be a lot of fun. The idea you could link up with a couple of your friends, 1 or 2, 2v2 or 3v3. You could draft a team together. Everybody has their own rounds that they get to draft. I think it would make for a lot of fun. Obviously, co-op's got some issues connection-wise, but it's a ton of fun. I think co-op Battle Royale could work pretty well. That could help engage interest, and same with ranked seasons. If you aren't good enough to win World Series, maybe one of your friends can help you get there. And the same concept with Battle Royale. I think that would be an engaging new twist they could add to it. And then events. There's a lot of things that I would like to do to events. You know, maybe what might be better is sort of scrapping that as their team building mode, because half the time you can't even use the cards you would want to use. Let's get a salary cap mode within MLB The Show. The only of the men's professional Core 4 sports that does not have a salary cap, Major League Baseball. Let's bring it in, where you've got X amount of dollars, like each player has a value assigned to them, and you've got to restrict your team to an extent. It allows you to still use these cards in an online and ranked or competitive setting, but not have to worry about getting killed. Like I've talked about with theme teams, I have a lot of fun using theme teams and building captains like the all-time Rockies, but I'm at a severe disadvantage if I were to try and play them in ranked seasons, because, okay, then my opponent's got Beltran and Ted and Scott Rowland, he's got Roger Clemens on the mound. It's like, okay, shit, well, so much for having fun. Couple ideas. I want to thank you guys sincerely for listening to me ramble on for more and more. That happened the other day, we did that, and shit, here we are again, just talking, looking into a camera. We're going to have some other stuff coming soon to the channel, which I'm very excited about. I went 10-1 in BR, and that made me realize getting a 10K reward, just how bad the situation truly is, and how that reflects upon the entire game as a whole. It just feels so fractioned compared to the past couple of years, and that's not a good thing. I think we're heading in the wrong direction. But thank you guys again for watching this one. I really do appreciate it. I'll catch you guys on the next one.